Oh, good morning. Happy Easter. He is risen. Awesome. Awesome. A little bit of time to myself. I decided to make a video and start my I Am series. I'll go through my endorsement page at the end because I feel this is very, 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 very important for us borderline diagnosed people to understand who we are when somebody's newly diagnosed, even though we don't know who we are in the beginning. When we're newly diagnosed as a borderline personality disorder, it gets even worse. Oh my God, now who am I? Let me tell you, first of all, you are diagnosed with borderline personality. You are not your diagnosis. I'll call you borderline only because I don't know your names. Or I'll say, I am borderline, but it's not true. I am not borderline. I am not my diagnosis. I am diagnosed. I am a human being that's diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I chose this I am for a few reasons. I mean, I love one of the stories that uses the phrase I am. I am is a very powerful statement. You are whatever you become, whatever you put after am. I am a beautiful woman. I become a beautiful woman to myself. I'm not saying everybody else is going to think I'm beautiful. Many have not called me beautiful in my lifetime. It doesn't matter. I am a beautiful woman. I like myself. So I became a beautiful woman as soon as I got to saying, I am a beautiful woman, and I keep saying it. And I have to say it. It's not to be narcissistic, and it's not to put myself on a pedestal. It's because I need to believe who I am, who I am created to be. I have been looking into this for many years. I'm 51 years old. Some of you might not be even 20 yet. Word to the wise. Whatever you put after that I am, that's what I become. That's what you become. So you got to really be mindful about what you're putting after that statement. And the flip, when you're saying you are, you have to be very careful about what you are putting after that statement, because in your brain, that's what other people are becoming. Not that they are certain things, like you're an asshole. Not that they become it in reality to themselves, but you are making them into an asshole in your brain. And it's doing nothing for you by calling somebody else names. Nothing. And it's doing nothing to them. They can walk away. They don't have to listen to you. They don't have to be around you. Who wants to be around a negative person that calls them names all the time? We all have names. Our parents do not sit there and when they give birth to a baby, no parents or couples right after giving birth says, hey, look, honey, I just gave birth to an asshole. It doesn't happen. Parents painstakingly choose names even before the baby is formed totally in the womb. Our names are sacred, and they should always be used. And I taught my daughter that from the beginning. Don't call names. Names are sacred. You use the person's name that their mommy and daddies gave them, is what I started teaching her since she could talk. Mommy and daddies give names for a reason, and those names should be used. No other name should be given to these people. Alright, that's my lecture as far as lecturing anybody calling name calling. I mean, it does nobody any good anyways. It doesn't even show. You could probably think of more intellectual ways of getting your point across other than calling somebody a name when you have nothing left. When you have nothing left, just leave it at that. Do not call names, because it adds that you don't know what you're talking about. It negates everything you have said previously, because you don't look good. However, I am trusting. I am attentive. Look at these words. They're great. I am loyal. I am unique. I am clever. I am daring. I am wise. I am able. I can. Another word you can eliminate with good and bad out of your vocabulary is the word can't. You can. You just need to find a way. And a way that works. Forgot who coined the phrase. I think it was Thomas Edison. I didn't fail. I found 1,000 ways that didn't work. Would we have the light bulb if he just gave up the first time it didn't work? So it's the same thing. You know, I might have gotten that whole phrase kind of mixed up, but it's the general terms. Now, I do have things listed down so that I can go by a plan. And the first one is I wanted to talk about was what I mentioned in one of my videos about driving your car straight down the road. If you're driving your car and your friend is driving beside you, or your enemy, or your mother, sister, brother, father, friend, neighbor, if your goal is to drive straight down the road without crossing a yellow line or going over a white line on the other side and jumping a curb, you have to drive straight down that road, and your goal is to get from A to B without crossing that yellow line and without jumping the curb. Are you going to, A, stay in your seat and drive your car straight down the road and park it? Or B, leave your car running and drive and go and jump in your friend, mother, sister, brother's car and help them drive down the road straight? Tell you, if as borderlines and as human beings, I mean, this is just humans. I mean, I can't believe how much humans do this. Maybe it's the fault of the id or the brain or whatever. We got a better way and everybody should conform to our ways, I guess, is what we feel, which is not true. It's an untruth. But crap, everybody's freaking cars keeps crashing because they're trying to drive everybody else. And that's what's going on in the United States today. Everybody's so worried about what everybody else is saying, what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is, and they're not paying attention to driving their own car straight down the road and parking it, and then going to help somebody with their car to drive it if they were having trouble. That's what's wrong. That's what I see. Everybody's so busy trying to control what everybody else does, says, and thinks that they don't get what they're doing and thinking matters in their own life. Their cars are crashing. And society as a whole, if too many people are doing that, will collapse in on itself. It gets chaotic. People are studying chaos theories out there. Be careful about what you follow. Take the lead of your life, because you are the boss of you. You are important. You are the beginning and the end of you. You are the light and the dark of you. You are valuable to you. You are the boss of you. Even though when you're a child or a young adult in your preteens and your teenager years, you are subject to being under somebody's roof with their rules. Nowhere in life will you go without a set of rules that are implemented for you to follow. And you might as well follow them, because when you don't, it makes life a lot harder for you to live and let live. Because then you're not only trying to control yourself, you're trying to control what everybody else is doing around you, because you have to follow rules, they gotta follow rules. Why do I have to do it in there? That is a theme in my life. I would talk to people. I would talk at work. And they would talk about their day. They would talk about their homes. They would talk about private stuff and personal stuff. And then when I did it, I'd get in trouble for doing it. And the common theme there is, I don't understand why Susie Talkative Dayhill there can talk about her personal life to other people, but here I am trying to join in and fit in the conversation, and I'm wrong for it. I didn't know where I fit in. I don't know. And to this day, I do not get why one person can talk all about this stuff and not get in trouble, and yet if I do it, I'm wrong for it. And that's, I see in other people diagnosed with borderline have the same issue. I don't know if it's an issue of my black and white thinking, because we do have black and white thinking. Nothing to do with skin color, mind you, just to let you know. Black and white thinking is thinking in the extremes. There's no gray areas of what things could be. Nothing to do with racism, okay? You can call it black and white. You can call it yellow and green, or yellow and blue thinking, just to keep away from terms that will potentially make people angry, which we don't know ourselves to begin with. Now we have to deal with that in society. Am I saying what's wrong and what's right? I feel like I can't go outside and have a normal conversation with anyone now. So anyways, back on topic. I am driving my car straight down the road. I have a great analogy thanks to my friend that I've known for quite a few years now. And I asked him if I could use his video, and he said yes. And I appreciate him highly, because this is perfect for what I want to show you. The way life is actually going for everyone. Everyone. We are going to watch it twice. I think it's like 5 minutes long, maybe 4. I tried to keep it short. Did a lot of cropping. I kept one of his marks in there so that people can't steal it on him. I got permission to use it. And I'm not going to talk. I'm going to just let you observe and find out for yourself and see for yourself. Try to figure it out. Then we're going to watch it again, and I'm going to show you what I see in the video. And it all ties in to life and driving your car straight down the road and not jumping into somebody else's car for them. Alright, let's watch it. I love watching that video. Now, one thing I like about bikers and about people who ride is they will tell you that motocross and bike riding and bikers, being a biker, it's in your DNA. So I love this picture. If you notice, nobody's stopping to help anybody pick anybody up, first of all. Okay. I'm trying to think of the words to say. In the beginning, you'll see a bunch of bikers riding around. They're driving their own bikes. Their goal is to go straight around the track. In life, it's always suggested that there's paths that you can take. You can take the off path. You can go off-roading if you want, but it's going to be a bumpy road. But with bikers, there's a path. Motocross. This was at Southwick, I believe, in Massachusetts. They have a big thing, and they were practicing. And believe it or not, there were women bikers in that video, too. So it's men and women. Bikers. Their orientation didn't matter. Who they were didn't matter. They're just men and women bikers. Sexual orientation has nothing to do with bike riding. Get it? Okay, that's where I'm going to put that. Now, through the video, what I'm going to tell you where I see. There's just one cool jump that I tried to slow down. That was a faux pas. That kind of was didn't look good, but I love it. That was just cool. Okay. These people are wild, when they're riding bikes. But anyways, my very first boyfriend, he had a biker path in the back of his yard. I used to watch him on that biker path ride his moto, one of these bikes, the motocross bikes, dirt bikes, down that path. I mean, and he's a biker today. I mean, and he's 50, so it's in the blood. So it's just wild to watch them, and the look on their face is a much different look than a man even gives a woman that he loves deeply. You cannot replace that look. You have to find that look on your face, and that freedom and that feeling, and that, yeah, this is who I am. Many of these bikers did not own big wheels as children and toddlers. They owned motorbikes. Okay. I've seen, they're cute as button too, those small motorbikes for the smaller kids, for the 5-year-olds and stuff. They learn at a young age who they are and what they're doing. To be able to drive down that path, that dirt path, especially with dirt getting flying into your face and people crashing in front of you, and I don't know, bugs getting in your mouth, hitting your helmet, getting bugs all over in your way, in your eyesight, a whole bunch of things. I mean, Ken can probably tell you more about what happens in Ken Jr. and even Jordan and Taylor could tell you more about the hazards when they're on that path on the bike. The point being, there's hazards. There's things that they have to get through. And nobody's helping them. They're picking themselves up, putting their bikes back up, and they're hitting that. Like I know a lot about motorcycles and bikes. Hitting the the start thing with their feet and going again. And they're going up those hills and around the course, and they're going fast. And, everybody else is concerned about how they are driving because they don't want to crash themselves. They are racing. Life isn't really a race as far as competition among you and another person. However, it's a certain type of race we have because we don't have a lot of time on this earth, on our path. So, in a way, it's a race against time, not a race against people. Now, these kids, I call them kids, they're adults too. They're adults and children and kids, and, Ken still races. And he's older than me. Dox him. Age him. Not dox him. However, they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and they go. Nobody's there to pick them up. If you will notice, too, they're bystanders. And off in the distance. And me being the Christian woman I am, the spiritual lady I am, I believe in angels, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I know in my heart of hearts, even though I haven't seen them, they exist. I picture one of the men as God, the other one's the angels, maybe some loved ones watching over us, and they're there and they're watching. And some people call people, say that they're something called the watchers out there, to watch over humankind, to see what we're doing. Whole bunch of stuff, but they're there. I mean, I'm sure if there was an accident where somebody's life was at stake, they'd be there to help them. That's what our angels do best. That's what God does best. That's what Jesus does best. Not in the ways we think they should be there to help us. There's a difference. And I won't get into that because that gets into preaching more. But to me, it's a beautiful representation to see the onlookers of these, just watching people going through life, on their dirt bikes. Some people are falling, some people are ahead, some people are jumping, some people doing tricks, some people are just driving. And then at the end, what do you see? You see this beautiful, beautiful picture of the racetrack. And when I saw that, I was, oh boy, that's it. This is the video I need to use for my live stream. Because the track is winding and it's a path. And it's like the path of life. It's like the road of life. The nurturing road of life that we're on. These people are not trying to drive somebody else's motorbike when they're driving their own. Heck, you see them. They're crashing and burning, driving their own motorbikes. They don't need help from anybody else, or they don't need anybody else to do it for them. And they're tough about it. They pick themselves up. They're not looking, hey, help me. They're not looking for any, wait, can you stop and help? Hello? Because most people are doing that. Most people, when there's trouble and they're seemingly ignoring you, they're not really ignoring you to ignore you. They're on their path in life. And that's not good or bad. That just is. Not positive nor negative. It just is. They're trying the best they know how to drive down that road and stay on that path themselves. And then you get the people like my friend, who is older, who does drive, who can mentor them on that path, which is kind of cool. And he's actually, I didn't include it in the video, he's encouraged them, egging them on, saying, woo, go. The people he knows, woo, go. He gets all excited. when I see him, you know, his girlfriend is blessed to be able to see this. You look in his eyes when he's either riding or watching the motocross. He gets those eyes of a little boy, and he's, like I said, he's an older man. And to see the little boy come out in the man is beautiful. To see the little girl come out in the woman is beautiful. It just is. So let's watch that again and try to look at it the way I'm looking at it. I know it's hard, but I really feel it's really neat. See, you got your watchers. I view that man all the way up there. The soul man is God. It's God watching down on all the people going through life, driving straight down the road, making sure nobody's crashing. Watch it. You got onlookers, see that? It could be your angels, it could be the watchers, it could be your loved ones waiting for you. It could be those that are appointed to you to help you if your life is in danger. See, his life isn't in danger here. He fell. And look, everybody else is going around, and it's not that they don't care about him, but they're driving their own car, and they're trying to get their own way. And it's not good or bad. But look, when he helps himself, he gets out of it. You might try it 3 or 4 different ways that, you know, I don't know. That's the cool jump. I don't know how many ways somebody will try something on a dirt bike to get up before they actually succeed, but I'm assuming that it doesn't always work first exact moment you try to get up. There's always something that could be going on. Sometimes the bike might not even start again and you have to get off the path. But look. See? He tried to go. Something didn't work, so he had to do it again. Or she. This one tried to get up. Now he's backing down because he couldn't get up the hill. Whoop! Up! This one, somebody fell and somebody crashed behind him. Was it the person behind him fault? No, he was just behind him. You see, this one, he couldn't figure it out, so he had to come off the path. Oh, another one, man, looking around. See, always aware of what's around them, because that is what life is all about, because that's how you're going to get through it. Nobody's going to help him. He has to get back on there. He's got to drive his bike. Love it, love it. So indicative of life. So driving straight down the path. That's why I added this part. My little straight path. This is your guide. Yeah, you can veer off the road, but you might crash. And then at the end, see how beautiful that landscape is? Your life is beautiful. Landscape of life's paths is gorgeous. It's beautiful. God created this country. No, if you don't believe in God, then that's okay too. But look how pretty that is, that landscape. We're on happy life. Some are ahead, some are behind. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool. And believe it or not, where you are now is right where you are supposed to be in life. It's a journey. It's beautiful. How do we know if we're doing the right thing? You don't. If you fall, you get up. The best way of knowing where you are is trying to find your identity and who you are. And you know what? It's not just borderline people that don't know who their identity is. Oh no. That starts when you're a teenager and you start going through puberty. Can't talk. That starts when you go through puberty. Your body changes. All of a sudden you can create another human life. You got all these hormones going through your body. Who am I? I got this happening? And then your body's getting ready to hold that life and create it. It gets confusing. There is no child on this earth between the ages of 0 through even, I'd say, 30. Sometimes not. Who knows exactly who they are and exactly what they want. And it is a disservice, and I can do this because my daughter's not home. It is a disservice to those children to be placing into their brain who and what they are, and to make them make a choice at that age. Get it? We have all struggled, every single one of us, with our identification as a teen. In one area or another. The difference is in the teachings we received and how well our parents were able to teach us what identification of a human being, of ourselves, means. My grandmother wasn't good at it. Only thing she taught me about relationships was men are out for one thing, don't give it to them. Which she's right. But it's more than that. As a teen, your life should not be encompassing your sexual identity. No. That is society breeding ignorance and beating it into your head that you have to choose. And you don't have to choose when you're a teen. No child has to choose who they are sexually at all. There are more things that they're confused about in life than to confuse them when their hormones are going than pushing sex on them. And, oh, you have to choose a sexual identity. No. And it is a choice. You know what? It might not be a choice to a person who has a hormone imbalance. Okay? It might not be a choice to somebody who is born with both male and female sex organs. That is a medical condition. It is not a choice. And since we do not know the hormones in the body, some of it is not a choice. Some of it, it's who you are. I know somebody who was born that didn't develop ovaries and had to be given hormone pills to grow them so that she could have children later in life, and even that wasn't guaranteed. However, to push for society, I'm not talking about everybody who's made the choice. If you made the choice about who you are sexually, that's fine. If you come out and said this is who I am, that's fine. And you're not going to tell me that it isn't a choice. You're not going to make me believe that it isn't a choice. Unless there's something biologically going on with you. You can't make me. You can force me to keep my opinions to myself and shut my mouth. But you cannot force me about what my beliefs are. And the more you try to force somebody to believe as you believe about something like this, the more unhappy you are going to become. And the more frustrated and the more irate, the more angry. You need to give it up. Let others believe what they want. I have never, ever, ever discriminated a person by my beliefs about what all that is. I treat them like they're a human being, and that's what they are. You treat me like I'm a human being. I'm a heterosexual woman. That's who I am. And there's nothing wrong with it. And there's nothing wrong with me saying I believe that certain things are choices in life. That is where forcing somebody to go inside themselves and be afraid to say how they feel is wrong. If I am to sit there and accept that this is what you believe and how you feel, you are to sit there and believe this is how I feel and how I am. You are not to tell me I am wrong. And nobody should be telling you you're wrong, because you're not wrong. You're not wrong if you believe if you believe that you are born this way. And it's not a choice. Who the hell am I to tell you it is a choice? And try to force it down your throat. Just because my reality states it is a choice, doesn't mean your reality has to state it is a choice. You can believe that it isn't a choice. What's wrong with letting people believe what they will? I'm not going to discriminate against you. I have many examples where I won't discriminate against you. However, what I do believe is society forcing a child to pick between 100 million different sexualities is wrong. Because they're having trouble understanding who their friends are. They're having trouble understanding what they want to do in life. They're having understanding about what they even freaking like. Do I like to draw? Let me try it. Do I like this? Am I an artist? Am I an oboe player? Am I a soccer player? Do I like girl things? Do I like boy things? You know, just because I played soccer for 9 years does not make me any less of a woman, a heterosexual woman, than I am. I just happen to be somebody who liked to play soccer, and I like to play rough. My favorite thing was scrimmaging the boys, because the boys weren't afraid to get dirty. They weren't afraid to go down. They weren't afraid to get hit, and they weren't afraid to hit. Okay? And I still have always been a heterosexual woman. There's nothing that made me a boy in that. Nothing stating that I was any less of a female for liking to do that. When you state that there is something wrong with a female liking to scrimmage the boys and play hard as a boy, soccer, in sports, when you're stating something's wrong with that, that is on you because you think it's wrong. So there must be something in your brain to make you a boy and make you attracted to women instead of men. There is nothing wrong with a girl liking to wear t-shirts and jeans and sneakers. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'll tell you another thing, there's nothing wrong with little boys liking to dress up in a dress or put mommy's shoes on. It's called dress up. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't even care if you're a man that behind closed doors likes to wear woman underwear. It's not my cup of tea, but it's somebody's cup of tea out there. But I don't care. Does that make that person gay? No, it does not. It just means he likes wearing woman's underwear. Don't let society dictate who you are and aren't. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I mean, you might be pissed off about what I'm saying here. You can be pissed, but it's only going to hurt you. It's not hurting me. I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable with the way I feel. I'm comfortable with how I choose to feel. You choose your feelings. You choose to be offended by not knowing yourself. But I can't sit here and consciously saying that to you, that there's a choice in being offended or not, without showing you how not to be offended. Many people say, oh yeah, being offended is a choice, get over it. I hate that because you know what? When I was going through everything, I'd be like, how do I get over it? I feel this way. It's overwhelming. How do I get over it? You don't simply just get over it. You come to realizations about awareness about yourself and awareness about others and awareness about what life is actually. And part of that is what I just showed you. The people driving their cars down the road don't give a shit if they're going straight and they're focused on what they're doing. They don't give a shit about you driving your car down the road. They don't give a shit whether you're straight, gay, or whatever. It's not affecting them. You being gay, you being homosexual is not affecting me. It's not me. That's your life. Live it. Okay? I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. I'm not going to tell you it's right. There's no wrong or right in life with that stuff. It is. It just is. And it is your business. It's not my business. And it's not the government's business either. And it's not all these people protesting's business either. They're making a mockery out of it. I am so insulted about all these protests stating that masks are hurting mental health in the United States today. No. What's hurting mental health in the United States today is the other things that were said on that banner about children. Children witnessing you going out and doing this stuff and taking one thing and highly politicizing it, and then you're traumatizing a child. You're traumatizing the child. You're the one confusing the child. The mask isn't. Heck, most children are drawing pictures on them now and making games out of it. I see more children wearing masks without a problem than any adult. It's kind of funny how that works. My child has no problem wearing a mask at school. Oh, I gotta wear a mask? Oh well. Part of life. Then you got people politicizing it and going out and for an agenda, and they're screwing with your mental health. Don't follow those people. You will come out of a riot or a protest that is going on in the United States with more mental health issues than you went in with. There's an agenda out there that want to indoctrinate you, and they're going to confuse you. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. Guard your life as if it matters, because it does. Your brain is way too important to put at risk. Then your children are way too more important to put at risk in their mental health. Because it's not the mask that's harming your child's mental health. It's all these groups going out protesting things that are not really going on. Things that are throwing things in the Americans' faces right now. Putting them up to your nose and saying, you're wrong. You're wrong for feeling this. You're wrong. You should be ashamed. You're shame. You're shame. You're shame. You should be ashamed of yourself for being white and thinking that it's not good to be gay. You should be ashamed of feeling how you feel. That's what these people are doing. They're the ones that are instilling shame in our children, in our mental health community. They're keeping us in. They're keeping us down. You know yourself. You don't need to go out there. You don't need a protest. Guess what? There have been protests since the beginning of time that have not made any difference. And the governments hijack them for an agenda. And it's not an agenda that has anything to do with any American person or any people that think they matter. It's not you they have in mind. They don't care. You need to stay focused on who you are and who you want to be. No matter who you are valuable. You are loyal. You are unique. You are your own person. You deserve to be treated with dignity and honor as a human being, a creation of God that is sacred and set apart for your own purpose. You deserve to treat yourself that way. You cannot force others to treat you that way. As a matter of fact, when you do that, others are going to push back and you're going to find yourself miserable. So what you have to do is come to the happy medium of knowing thyself and not caring what other people think of you. And just keep displaying what you want to display in life. The characteristics you need to display. And this is going to be more than one part or two parts. You're going to have to get out your BPD warrior notebooks, and we're going to do work on who we are. Your first assignment, if you will, is going to be writing down this. I am ... You are going to write down the roles you play in life. For instance, for me, I believe, Okay, you don't have to start it with this because I always put God first. I am a child of the living God. I am a child of God. That's my first rule. You don't have to put that if you don't believe in God. And if you don't believe you're a child in God, you don't have to put that. And you know what? I don't judge you for that. And it's okay. It's not good or bad. It just is. Go to the second line. I am a human being. I am a Homo sapien. A human being. I am a mother. I am an aunt. I am a YouTube streamer for the BPD Warrior channel. I am a friend. I am, when I was working, I am a lab assistant. I am a lab technician. I am an optician, a certified optician. When I was working the second job, I am a laundry aide for a nursing home. Those are the first I ams you need to write. Take your roles. I am a student if you're in school. I'm a student. I am a daughter. I am a niece. I am a nephew. I am a son. I am a twin if I have a twin sister or twin brother. I am a twin. It gets deeper than this. But that's the first thing I want you to write down. I do not want you to write down characteristics. I don't want you to write adventurous. I don't want you to write down any adjectives. Sorry. So you're not writing your sexuality down. Not in this one. You're writing, I am a mother. You are using nouns. You are using nouns to describe yourselves. I am Marie. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a aunt. I am a, that's all. Should be easy to list that for the first part, okay? Now, in conclusion, because it's been an hour, and I did go off on a rant, and I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but I'm telling you the truth. If you expect me to respect your right to believe in what you are and who you are and what you want to be and what you are meant to be, you need to respect my right to have my own thoughts and feelings about things too. Freedom of speech is getting to be not freedom of speech in the United States. People are starting to be afraid of saying any kind of thought or belief they have because everybody's getting so upset, angry, offended at things. And it shouldn't be that way. Okay, shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't, should not be in your vocabulary either. But it doesn't need to be that way. We are who we are. I am who I am. Now, I'm not going to get off that easy. As I said, I am a Christian woman. I do follow faith, and I do like I like the books in the Bible. Okay? Even if you are an unbeliever, I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to preach to you, and I messed this up. Here we go. Things I do for love. Okay. I'm not trying to preach to you. First of all, get it through your head. These are books. If you're not a believer, these are just a set of books in I don't know, it's not a trilogy. Trilogy's 3. Anyways, it's a compilation of books, and they're different, written in different styles, and some are allegorical, some are said to be historical, some are even in poetry, some are lyrics and songs, and some are revelation, like predictions. Some are just talking about wisdom. I mean, so if you don't believe the Bible is the inspired word of God, you don't have to. Not in my streams. You're not judged here like that. However, I need you to be open to what I'm saying when I'm reading these things, because it's good advice and good information. And actually, some of these stories are real great. Now, I don't know how many of you know about the book of Exodus and what happened in the Exodus. I mean, this is something from the Old Testament that happened in Jewish times, and it is the reason they celebrate Passover season. Actually, it's a good time because it's Passover for us. They celebrate the what happened was supposedly in history. Okay, what happened in history was God's people. I'm not going to call them Jews or anything, because who knows who God's people were back there. I didn't live back then. God's people were enslaved. Seems familiar that, slavery was back then. They even had slavery, which is kind of sad. By Pharaoh in Egypt. And there was this child born to one of the Hebrew slaves, and he was to deliver his people out of Egypt. And I think there was a prophecy about that. So when the time came, Pharaoh, I don't know the exact reasonings, had all the firstborn son killed of the Hebrew children. And Moses' mother didn't want him killed, so she put him in a river on a little raft or whatever. And Pharaoh's daughter took him out of the river and raised him like it was her own. That Moses was her own, instead of being a slave child. This is the gist of the story. It's not the exact story. I might be getting it wrong. Okay. But, I don't know Bible verse, verse, chapter, this and that and this and that. I'm not a scholar. All right. I know the gist of the thing. Story goes, Moses saw, he realized who he was somehow, and I'd have to reread it to know how. And he saw one of the Hebrews being, I think, whipped or beaten or killed or something. And he went after the Egyptian that did it to kill him. Then, when Pharaoh heard that he did this, he went after he went after Moses. So Moses escaped out into a place. He went out of the land, and he went to this place. And in this place, there was the mountain, and there was a burning bush. Which actually is kind of neat. If you look up bushes that cannot be consumed by fire, they do have one. It's kind of neat, You look up some of the geology and the things that can and can't happen, and archaeology. It's all in there. Alright, this part is entitled The Burning Bush, and this is when Moses was at the burning bush. Now, the burning bush was God. The flames were God. So Moses is talking to God. Okay, Now I'm going to start reading. Not to preach, but just to tell you the story. Now Moses was keeping the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led his flock to the west side of the wilderness, and came to Horeb, which is Mount Sinai, the mountain of God. The angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing flame of fire from the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush was on fire, yet it was not consumed. So Moses said, I must turn away from the flock and see this great sight, why the bush is not burned up. When the Lord saw that he turned away from the flock to look, God called to him from midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then God said, Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, out of respect, because the place on which you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. Back then, you looked at God and you died. Okay? The Lord said, I have in fact seen the affliction, which means the suffering and the desolation, of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, which is the oppressors. For I know their pain and suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, from the power of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a land that is good and spacious, to a land flowing with milk and honey, a land of plenty, to the place of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Now behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have seen how the Egyptians oppressed them. Therefore, come now, and I will send you to Pharaoh, and then bring you my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh? He didn't know. I'm nothing special. And that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt. This is probably the biggest thing he's ever... Oh my God. Wait a minute. And God said, Certainly I will be with you, and this shall be the sign to you, that it was I who sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve and worship God at this mountain. Then Moses said to God, unbelieving, Behold, when I come to the Israelites and say to them, The God of your fathers' ancestors has sent me to you, and they say to me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, You shall say this to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. I am. He is. You are. God didn't turn around. I'm the God. I'm the Almighty. I'm the Alpha. I'm the Omega. I'm the Supreme. Tell them I said that. Tell them, I am your Lord, thy God. Tell them, the God who made Adam and Eve sent you. God who created, who punished Cain for slowing Abel. The God who put the mark on Cain so that nobody would seek his life because he killed his brother. He didn't come out with all the miracles in punishments that he dished out. He didn't say any of that. He said, tell them, I am who am sent me. I am. If God didn't offer any explanations to other people on who he was, why should you? God, we are created in the image and likeness of God, and this is where I'm preaching, and I'm sorry. If he didn't do it, why should you have to? Because other people say you have to? Who are they? Are they better than God? I don't think so. Am I better than God? Who am I to say who you are? I am who am. You say who you are and look for your identity. None of it is wrong or right. It just is. Happy Easter. I hope you and yours has a great day. And I will work on part 2. And please don't take my Bible reading as anything other than trying to teach. Not the things of God. Because I am not worthy of teaching God to anyone. Anything I do will greatly be a disservice there. What I am trying to do is use these stories as a wisdom, as a kind of wisdom to bring out in our healing and why, and a reason why. It's okay to be confused, but it's also okay to be who you are. You are who you are. I am who I am. I am not God. I will say that. But I am somebody. Just like God was, I am. Peace and love out to you all. Have a wonderful day.